Hello and welcome to Impact the Borough, a podcast from the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce. I'm Brent Christensen, the President and CEO of the Chamber. Each week we'll highlight what we're doing to start and grow businesses, create quality jobs, and develop our workforce. We'll also check in with our community partners to share inspiring stories and important information from across our community. This podcast is brought to you by Truliant Federal Credit Union, a modern, mission-driven financial institution focused on the needs of its members, the businesses it serves, and our community. With 5 locations in Guilford County, including a dedicated commercial lending office at Friendly Center and a highly rated mobile banking app, Truliant makes it their business to help you grow yours. Visit Truliant.org for more information.
Welcome to today's Chamber podcast. I'm Lorenz. I'm with the Downtown Greenway, and I'm excited to be part of this podcast today because October is Run for the Greenway month on the Downtown Greenway. I want to introduce Brian Crean, who is one of our longtime supporters of the run. And Brian, we're glad to have you with us today.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
Good. Well, like I said, Brian has been with us for a while. It's hard to believe that this is our 12th year for the Run for the Greenway. Time flies when you are having fun, and we have had a fun time every single year. We have changed locations over the years. When we first started 12 years ago, we started out in Center City Park because, of course, the Downtown Greenway was really not in existence yet. We had not, I think, probably that year we broke ground the following year on Moorhead Park. And so every year the event has evolved and has grown into what it is today. And so we're just glad to be able to share this with the community, get people out on the Downtown Greenway now that we are more getting closer to completion. We are out of the 4 miles, the 4-mile loop, we have completed 3 miles of the loop. And so we are anticipating that the final mile section will go out to bid later this year, and that we will start construction on that mile that runs along the railroad corridor from Smith Street down to Wafco Mills and Spring Garden area. So maybe this time next year, maybe not, probably early 2023, the whole 4-mile loop will be done, and we will eventually be able to say we can run the entire loop. So Brian, speaking of history, how many years have you run in the Run for the Greenway?
I don't think I've run all 12, but I think I've run 11 of them.
Okay.
I might have missed the first or the second year, but I did start running and taking an interest in the Greenway and the whole project really from the beginning. I remember seeing a newspaper article when it was just kind of being proposed through Action Greensboro. And I thought to myself, wow, this Greenway is going to run right next to the mill that I live in. So I immediately took an interest and got curious, started running the runs, and then started helping with the planning committee for the run shortly thereafter.
Yeah, I know. You've been a long-time resident of Wafco Mills, and that was one of the first section that was completed in 2012 on Moorhead Park, it's called Moorhead Park, and it runs from Spring Garden down to Freeman Mill Road, and then it turns onto over towards Eugene and Bragg Street. And so you've really kind of seen it come together. There's lots of programming that we do down at Moorhead Park for several years. Once we had more sections completed, we moved the run from Center City Park over to Moorhead Park. And that was the site, kind of the start and finish of the run. That's where we had the block party, and that was a great space to have the event. And then as the years have gone on and we have completed more sections, we've tried to move the run to different sections, completed sections of the Downtown Greenway. So tell me, why do you continue to do the run year after year? What do you like about the Run for the Greenway? What makes it special to you?
Good question. I think I'm just interested in supporting the Greenway, number one. So it's just a great cause to support. I'm a big fan of downtown redevelopment. I enjoy exercising. I enjoy public artworks, which is also a big component of the Greenway. And then the run itself, I think, is pretty cool. I mean, it has been a different course year after year, but it's a different mileage, 4 miles, kind of run for the Greenway. So the 4 mile format is unique. It's not just a 5K and it's not a 10K. I think the first few years, I think it was an 8K or a 5 mile run, which was also unique. That's also unique. And so, you know, part of it is supporting the community and the project. And I think the other portion is just, I enjoy signing up for races in the downtown area. I know when it first started in Center City Park, that was a lot of fun because there was just new programming right downtown in the parks and near the cultural center. So
we were one of the first ones, I think, to really do the run downtown. There were several, but now there's a lot more. And so we're just really appreciative of the support, like you and some of the other runners who have come out year after year. Jill and Adam, we're going to give them a shout out. They're part of your weekly running group, and they have, I think, done all 12 runs, and they met at the Run for the Greenway. So we're the reason that they are together. Is that correct?
One of the reasons, yeah, absolutely. I think they technically, I think they met at the farmers market, but I think doing the run for the Greenway was one of the first things they did together as a couple.
Okay, darn, I can't take credit for that, but I will.
There's another funny story about Adam, though, because he was doing the Run for the Greenway and I was doing the Run for the Greenway before he joined our running group and before we had met kind of as buddies. And we were actually in one of the pictures together running on the Greenway before we had met. So that was kind of cool. But Richard Wells, Ken Jones, Steve Cawthon, there's a bunch of really great people who've run every year. Michael Driver, Susan, Skipper. I mean, I could name a gazillion people, but our running group really enjoys supporting the Run for the Greenway. And I think we really enjoy kind of the after party atmosphere and the kind of social event that it's become. Yeah.
We are really, your run club is one of our dedicated groups, and we love that because we have repeat people that have come over, back year after year, but we have a lot of new people that live downtown that have seen the run in past years and then have joined, and we get some of the same olds, which is great, and then we get a lot of new people. So it's a great way to showcase the downtown Greenway and just get people out and being healthy and active. And like you said, it's not a hardcore run. It's not, one of the marathons, but it's doable for the most people. And we do the fun run as well. We have the 1 mile fun run and the doggy jog that we do. That starts first. So that's at 4:30. And you can run that or walk that. We really do encourage strollers. Some races don't do that, but we really do encourage strollers to, and people to come out with their dogs either in the 1 mile. And we have some dogs that can do the 4 mile with their owners. So that's kind of fun too. So we just are excited to have all types of different people and ages and kids and families, and so it's just a fun time. So let's talk about the details of the race itself. It's October 23rd. It's a Saturday. One of the other things that I think makes us unique in a way is that we have our runs are in the afternoon and the event is in the afternoon. A lot of runs around town are in the morning, and so we started out doing this in the afternoon and just really have created this kind of party atmosphere after the run. So it's very festive. We have lots of organizations that come out and vendors and food trucks. And so the actual event is from 4 to 8. And we have a band this year. It's AM Rodeo, who a lot of you may know, Jessica Mashburn and Evan Olson. So they'll be rocking us out this year. The event, so this is the second year that we've done Lo-Fi Park. Lo-Fi Park is on the northern section of the downtown Greenway. It stands for Lower Fisher because it's close to the Fisher Park neighborhood. And it is in front of Joymongers on North Eugene, and the party will be in Lo-Fi Park. It will be in also Joymongers is closing off their paved parking lot, and then we will also have it on the downtown Greenway on Eugene and into Deep Roots parking lot. So we'll have lots of vendors, food trucks, all of that. And Joymongers is our new beer sponsor this year, so we're excited to have them. They've always been part of the run in some way. Greenway at Fisher Park Apartments that run along the downtown Greenway, they've always supported us and have been a sponsor. But this year we're excited that that Joymongers will be our beer sponsor this year. So do you think that sets us apart a little bit, Brian, doing it in the afternoon? You mentioned the party atmosphere. I think it's just something different for people, and they can come out in the afternoon and still run and not too far, but and enjoy a party afterwards.
It is. It's more of a laid back event. I think the route crosses a few intersections, and you're probably not going to have lots of runners there that are trying to PR and run their very fastest time ever. But you'll find a lot of people there that are community oriented and having a good time. That's why we call it a run for the Greenway instead of a race for the Greenway. It really is more laid back and social. It's an event that's very participatory and welcoming to new folks. The 1 mile distance is really a cool thing. Like my girlfriend and her son, Becky and Blake, did the 1 mile last year, and neither of them are runners, so they did kind of a run, walk, jog kind of thing. And everybody just has a good time. So yeah. There's a lot of good giveaways, and the music at the end is a good time. So it does have a different flavor. It's a little bit more social, a little bit less competitive, but still, a few hills to contend with, so you'll get your heart rate up a little bit. So
I don't run anywhere, Brian. That's a big joke. I help plan this run. I can do a good party, but I don't run anywhere. So I look to the runners for their expertise and advice, and Brian is definitely part of that, being part of the committee and giving the runners perspective, which is great. And you mentioned that this is more of a laid back kind of course, because this is an urban Greenway and we are running a majority of the run on the downtown Greenway. It will not be a closed course the whole time. You will be on the Greenway, so not on the road, but there are some major intersections. Of course, the City of Greensboro is one of our big sponsors, and the Greensboro Police Department will be out at those major intersections directing traffic, but it will be very, you'll have to be mindful that you're going to cross some of the smaller cross streets like Bragg and Arlington, or, so you just have to be aware of your surroundings and just make sure you're kind of pacing yourself as you come up to those intersections. But again, we will have police presence all along the course, and we have course monitors at every intersection as well to direct traffic and runners and that kind of thing. Well, the volunteers won't direct the traffic, but they'll keep the runners on course, so that's a good thing. So that's just something to keep in mind, that it is not a totally closed course like some runs as well. We do always need volunteers. Guilford College is our volunteer sponsor this year. We're so glad to have them part of the event, and they provide a lot of the volunteers, but we always can use more. If you're interested, if you're not a runner like myself and you want to come out and volunteer, we would love to have you. And we've got course monitor positions. We always need help with the children's activities that we do. We always try to have some kind of art or interactive project or something for the kids to take part of. So that's one area of kind of the event layout. Let's talk about food. Food's really important. We've had some great food trucks over the past several years, and this year I'm thrilled to say that we've got a handful, which is going to be really fun. We've got Taste of Creole, Taco Brothers. They a lot of times will be Tuesday nights at Odin Brewing. So they're a regular there, but they're coming out for us. Damn Good Dogs, Wanderlust Boards, which is the whole charcuterie craze that people are interested in. We're going to have Kona Ice for the kids, and then Thrive Coffee Company. So if you can't find what you want, then you can always go to Deep Roots. Deep Roots has they are our runner hospitality sponsor and have been since day one, and so they will be providing food, snacks, and waters to the runners after the race or run, and they always have great to-go items and their salad bar and that kind of thing. So you really can't go wrong this year or go hungry, right, Brian?
I don't think so. Like, it's a block party, and as you said, there's a lot going on. So there's tents and vendors and all kinds of fun stuff to do. So it's definitely a good time, good afternoon.
Yeah. We are doing something new this year. Normally we give out t-shirts, and as part of signing up for to run, but this year we're doing a runner hat. And so it's one of those nice mesh hats that you can actually run in, and it's not one of the heavier ball caps. And we were doing the Downtown Greenway logo on it. And so Fleet Feet has been our prize sponsor for a long time, and they're helping to sponsor the hats. And I think it was your idea, Brian, the committee, was it your idea that we wanted, that people, everybody gets so many t-shirts, which we love, but this kind of will set us apart a little bit and be a little different than some of the other runs. Was it you?
Yeah, I don't remember if the hat was exactly my idea. I know Hollis might have mentioned it, or Christy might have mentioned it too. Yeah. We have such a good planning committee. I sometimes forget who comes up with all the good ideas. Yeah, there's a few people who've been involved who've really kind of added a lot of value to the group and brought their friends out. And but yeah, the hat is a new thing. I'm kind of excited. I know we did one of those neck gaiters. Was it last year or the year before?
It was last year during our virtual run, because remember we did the virtual run for the Greenway, and we weren't going to do it because of COVID, but we decided, why not? People want to get out and still be outside, and so we ended up doing it virtually. And we had a really good turnout for it being virtual. So we did the neck gaiters that you could use as a mask, or for running or whatever. So that was a neat giveaway as well. So I think people will be really pleased with the hats, and we're really appreciative of John Dewey and Fleet Feet. They've been a great supporter of us for a number of years. So we're glad to have them. So speaking of running groups, Brian, why don't you talk about the running club challenge that we have this year? This is really, we've tried this, but this year I think we're really got some competition going on.
Yeah, I think we do. This was another really good idea that came from kind of a collaborative effort out of one of our planning committee meetings. And I forget who mentioned it, but we all kind of agreed that it was a good idea to really reach out to the different running clubs around town. They're at the various breweries. There's some really great groups that run downtown every week. There's a great group at Little Brother Brewing, at South End Brewing. Natty Greens has a good club. We've started a small downtown Greenway run club and walk club on Thursdays. My running group runs on Mondays in Lindley Park most of the time. So we thought, geez, we have so many different running clubs. What if we get people to sign up as part of a club and challenge each other's and see who can get the most members of their clubs to do the downtown Greenway. I mean, obviously it's a promotional concept, try to get as many runners to do it as possible, but it does get kind of competitive in a friendly way where we can kind of talk a little trash and see who can bring out the most runners, see which brewery has the most participants in this year's run. So we'll see what happens. I know Red Oak has a really great running club on Sunday mornings, so maybe they'll bring out a few people as well. Okay. So just like to support all the different breweries and all the different run clubs, and hoping they'll participate and come out and be part of this kind of cool downtown event, you know?
Yeah, because runners don't like beer, do they?
No, most hate it. Most don't want to drink any beer after they run. It's no fun to stand around sweaty, talking to your friends, drinking beer.
Right. Yeah. It's been really fun. I've been able to pop over to a lot of the run clubs, and Jack Moore and John Teeter, and have been really supportive. I still think that your Monday Night Run Club has the most so far, but I think they're some of the other groups are kind of picking up or coming up behind you. So so there's still time. And when you do register, you can put in the name of your run club. So we will see who has the most when it comes, on October the 23rd. And that group will get a little prize. And then, of course, they'll have the bragging rights for being the run club with the most runners at the Run for the Greenway. So so we're excited that that has generated some excitement and a little talk, and we just are excited to have some different groups and get people exposed to the downtown Greenway. What a cool space it is. And you mentioned the Thursday night running and walking club. So we, similar to some of the other breweries, we have started that back in March, I think, of this year. Brian, you've been very instrumental in leading that group along with some other volunteers every Thursday night at 6 o'clock. And I think the neat thing about our group is that we have a very active walking group in addition to the running group. So the run group runs the 4-mile loop, and then the walking group usually walks 2 miles down Moreau and back. How many would you say we typically have more walkers in the walking group than runners, or what have you been seeing the past couple of weeks?
The new Thursday night group, we start there at Lo-Fi Park, which is the little kind of cool mini park in front of Joymongers. We meet at the benches there, and usually each week it really depends. I mean, some weeks there's more walkers, some weeks there's more runners. I would say there's usually between like 10 and 15 people total that run and walk, and probably half are walkers and half are runners. It varies, by week to week, but there is a really strong group. Fritzy Jones has kind of headed up our walking group, and she's been very helpful in suggesting different routes for the walkers. So they often do. There's been instances where they walk the full 4 miles, but that's rare now. They usually go like 2 or 3, and she'll actually kind of come up with a route along the course, partly on the Greenway, and then sometimes cut through downtown and over. But it's been a really strong kind of component of the Thursday night group. So we've been, it's been exciting and kind of cool. Like sometimes we'll run the loop in different directions. Like they'll be walking one direction and we'll run the other direction, and we pass by them and wave, and we've all gotten to know each other, and we hang out afterwards, of course, as a lot of running groups do. So I also wanted to mention this, kind of going back to the last question about the breweries, but I did want to mention Odin Run Club. They've been a really great supporter, and that's also a really strong group for any runners that are going downtown. I think they run on Tuesdays, but again, just wanted to shout out and make sure all the breweries know that we're supporting all of their groups. And our little friendly competition is mostly friendly, and hope they are able to come and support the Greenway.
Definitely. Thanks, Brian. If anybody's interested in joining the Thursday night group, they meet at 6, and there's parking, on-street parking all around Joymongers and Lo-Fi Park in that area. So I encourage you to get out. There is a Facebook page as well with updates. What's the name of that Facebook page, Brian?
The Facebook group page is the Downtown Greenway Run and Walk Club.
Okay.
There's about 30 of us, and like I said, usually 10 to 15 show up each week. We do start kind of promptly at 6. So if you do want to join, come a few minutes early so you can kind of hang out and meet a few folks and figure out who's walking and who's running. But everybody's welcome. We're always happy to see new faces. I've met a lot of cool new people on Thursday nights. It's really become a cool little group.
Great. Very good. Okay, well, I think those are the main highlights of the run this year. There's still time to register. You can go to downtowngreenway.org/events, and there's information there, and then it will take you to the sign-up page on the Jones Racing website. They are our timing company and have been for a number of years. The registration will end on Thursday night, the 21st. And then if you miss that deadline or you're kind of not sure what your plans are going to be that weekend, you can then sign up or on the day of the event. So you would come, registration opens at 3:00. So you could come early, get registered, and then everything kind of starts at 4. We do have a warm up that we usually do at 4:00 just to kind of get everybody limber and ready to roll. And this year it's with the Zodwa Dance Company. So that is going to be fun. And so you don't want to miss that. And then, the band will start around 6:00 as the runners are rolling back into Lo-Fi Park, because the 4-mile run starts at 5:00. So, a lot of runners will start coming back about 5:30, 5:45, 6:00, and then we follow with the prizes and probably around 6:15. But we're excited too, Brian. We've had some media sponsors in the past. Fox 8 is our media sponsor this year, and Emily Bird, who is one of the meteorologists, will be emceeing the event. So that'll be fun. She's a great person and announcer, and just a lot of fun. So we're excited to have them as well. So there's time to sign up. There's time to get your run club group together and encourage them to sign up. And we just look forward to seeing you on the Downtown Greenway on October 23rd. This is the 12th year, and pretty soon we'll be wrapping up the Greenway, and we'll have something really big to celebrate. So Brian, thank you again for all you do for Greensboro, for the Downtown Greenway, for your continued support, and we will see you on Saturday, October the 23rd.
This podcast is brought to you by Truliant Federal Credit Union, a modern, mission-driven financial institution focused on the needs of its members, the businesses it serves, and our community. With 5 locations in Guilford County, including a dedicated commercial lending office at Friendly Center and a highly rated mobile banking app, Truliant makes it their business to help you grow yours. Visit truliant.org for more information. You can find all of our episodes on YouTube thanks to our video sponsor, North State. Make sure to subscribe so you'll get new episodes delivered to your device each week. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook @GSO Chamber. See you next time.